Welcome to Play and Learn. I'm Dr. Susan, and I'm delighted you're here with us this morning. And today we're going to see and also think about the idea that there is good people everywhere. Sometimes with a lot of the things we hear today is there's just not a lot of very much good going on. So, how do we make that any different than what we hear? Well, one of the ways we can do that is by what we particularly do. And I found this really great book. I thought it was really fun. And it's called Good People Everywhere. So we're going to take a look at that book this morning. And then I came up with a couple of different ideas as to what we could do with it. And also the author had some great ideas. So I'm going to share some of those ideas with you too. So first of all, the book is Good People Everywhere, and it's illustrated by, it's tiny print, Christina Sawyer. So that's the cover of the book, and it's cool little houses all over the place. So let's take a look at the book and see what it has to share with us this morning. All right, so here we go. It says, Good People Everywhere. And this is she She dedicated this to her sister Paula. Today in the neighborhoods all over the world, millions and millions of people are doing very good things. Today, carpenters are building fences, houses, and repairing homes that have been damaged by storms. And I know we had a lot of wind last week, and that caused some damage. And I know there's been people out there repairing that too. Today, moms and dads are cooking dinners for their families. I'm sure your mom and dad have done that at least over the last couple of days. And cooks are working in kitchens, making meals for people who don't have homes. Doctors and midwives, those are nurses that assist in helping childbirth and delivering babies and gently passing them into the eager arms of their parents. That would be a really cool job. Teachers are teaching math, spelling, and reading skills. And I know that right now some of you are doing that online, and some of you get to be in class. So there's several ways that the teachers are able to do that. Musicians are opening their hearts and playing beautiful music. And dancers are leaping across dance floors, practicing performances that will bring joy to their friends, their families, and their communities. Today, people are planting seeds, picking fruit and vegetables, and driving them to grocery stores all around the world so you can have a ripe and juicy orange in your lunch. Today, a child is trying her very best to do well on her science test. And a teenage boy is helping a young child who is sad and lonely. Today, a first grade boy is helping a friend who has a skinned knee. I bet you guys have done that. And big sister is holding her baby brother while mom runs across the street to help a neighbor. That's two kinds of helping going on all at once. Today, millions and millions of people will do very good things. And if you look at the picture, there's planting gardens and kids playing on teeter-totters, and there's a farmer feeding his chickens. There's all kinds of good things going on. And so will you. I wonder what you will do. So there's a little kid standing in there, one standing in the doorway, the other one's looking out the window. I wonder what they're going to do today. So, the end. Oh, good, this is a jumpy the end. That's very cool. All right. Okay. So our story, put this down here, So our story was about things that happen every single day, all the time. And sometimes we get to a place where because it happens every single day, and it happens all the time, that we don't even notice, which sometimes is kind of sad when that kind of a thing happens. But if you can imagine and think about the things that you see maybe around your neighborhood that very good people are doing. All people are good at heart, and some people just don't know where to put their good. So let's see, what did I see this morning? I saw some guys working on trees that had the branches had blown down, and they were cutting those down and moving them so that they wouldn't be in the way, or if the wind blows again, it doesn't blow them into the streets and hamper the cars. That's what I saw one time this morning. And I got coffee. Someone helped me with my coffee this morning. And let's see, what happened at home that very good people in my house did this morning. Let's see, my grandson, when he got up, he came in and said, "Good morning." Do we think about that very often? Do we think about people, our moms and dads or sisters and brothers come in and just say good morning? That's a nice way to start your day, isn't it? Such a lovely way to do that. And because sometimes when you wake up and you're sleepy, you don't think about those things, that you wish somebody a good morning or a good day when you go off to school or outside to play or whatever you're going to be doing this particular day. So there's all kinds of things. We have doctors and nurses working all the time. Do you know that they work 24 hours a day? They all take turns or shifts, they call them. Some doctors and nurses work for 12 hours. Can you imagine that? Working, it's like the whole time that you're up, that there's somebody there to help you if you need help. And also, and when we go to sleep, there's still somebody there that's going to help anybody that happens to need it. So doctors and nurses work 12 hours a day. Can you imagine that? Think about this. You could play easy for 12 hours a day and not even think about it. If you get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and you play until 7 o'clock at night when it's bath time, you've played for 12 hours. Did you think about that? And how much fun you'd had in that amount of time? And think about the other thing that happens that's really nice, people, is when they deliver our mail. The mail's neat and everything else in our mailboxes. It takes people to do that. And let's see, who else is there? How about grocery stores? Can you imagine what it would be like if you had to go out and pick your breakfast? It's like you had to go out and get, get your fruit. You'd have to pick strawberries or grapes or whatever that is in the field, and then go home and wash it before you could have breakfast. But we have people that do that. Those are the farmers, and those are the farm workers, and they work long hours too. And let's see, what about the police and the fire department and the people that pick up our trash? Can you think about that? Those are really good people. Could you imagine if we didn't have somebody picking up our trash, what our neighborhoods would look like, and our streets would look like, and our houses would look like? That would be pretty awful. So we have all those different things happening all the time that we don't see, and sometimes we don't even think about. So this book was really cool, and it reminded me that there are things that happen like that all the time. And wouldn't it be nice to be able to tell some of those people how much we appreciate what they do and the things that they have available for us to take advantage of and to use? So what I thought we would do, and this is also something that the author suggested, is that what about making a card or an award? Instead of a card, everybody gets a card, right? How about an award? Giving somebody an award. And of course an award is, usually it looks like this. I'm going to show you. This is her drawing out of the back of her book. And I think you can see it. It creates a good person award. I'm going to tell you about one that I'm going to create this morning. This was just my idea. And I'm sure you guys have tons and tons of ideas and different ways in which you could create these. But so I'm going to show you the one I picked that I thought would be kind of fun. And this afternoon, I'm going to have my grandsons help me make one, and they're going to give the Good Person Award in our neighborhood to the lady that lives across the street. Her name is Jean. And Jean has a dog, and her name is Callie. And Jean comes out at least 3 times a day, in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, and she brings out her folding chair, and she sits it in her driveway, and she has this big long stick that has a little ball holder at the end of it, and she puts a tennis ball in it, and she sits there and she throws the tennis ball across a couple of yards. The neighbors don't mind, and Callie chases it and picks up the ball and brings it back to her. So this is Jean's way of playing with Callie and also getting Callie to have some exercise besides just sitting in the backyard. Well, my 2 grandsons, Dominic and Finn, love to go over to Jean's house and help her exercise Callie. So yesterday and the day before, Finn, who's my youngest grandson, he's 7, he goes over and Jean showed him how to put the ball in the little holder and throw it. Of course, he wasn't really good at it to start with because he would just go down like this and the ball would bounce a couple, 3 times. Of course, Callie would still chase it and bring it back. And then Jean said, let me show you something. So she showed him that if you take your arm all the way back and you just throw it like this, then the ball goes really far and Callie can chase after it. And Callie loves chasing after the ball. And she always brings it back and puts it back at your feet for you to do it again, because that's a lot of fun. The dogs love that. And Finn has such a good time because he's playing with Callie. And then after they do that for a little while, Jean takes back and throws the ball, and Finn runs after Callie chasing the ball too. So they're having fun together. But it's because we don't have dog, we have cats. Cats don't chase balls very well. So it's really nice of Jean to do that. So she's really doing a really good thing by letting Finn and Dominic come over and play with Callie and then teaching them how to throw the ball so that Callie gets a lot of fun going and chasing it. So they're going to create one of these this afternoon when I get home, and they're going to take it over to Jean's house and give it to Jean. Of course, with their masks on and being a distance away from each other, which is the important thing to remember right now. And so what I decided to do was I took the letter G. It might be a little hard to see. I think I'll put it under the pink paper so you might see it a little bit better. I did the letter G in big block letter like that. And then I cut out a P. This is for Good Person Award. And I cut out a P. You'll see it stands up a little bit better once we get the colors going. And then the P is going to sit here like this, like that. So when you open the card or the award, this is the award, you open up the card. I have to lay it down to do this and move the P because I don't have it glued down. Then you have space inside here, and it's really kind of fun. I think it's kind of fun to kind of write all over the place, you know, like write in circles and squares and stuff like that. It's just kind of fun. It adds more fun to the writing. But in here, and I'll lay it like this so you can see the inside, you can write how you felt that the person deserved an award for the things that they do. As simple as letting your little neighbor come over and play with your dog. I think that's absolutely wonderful. And so that's what the boys are going to do this afternoon. So I'm going to show you how to make what I thought was a good idea. Yet, we also have the idea of the author. She said to go ahead, and she says, I'm going to read what she said. It says, have you ever had someone thank you for something you have done? Didn't it feel good? It's always nice to receive a thank you. You can make someone feel good by giving them a Good Person Award. Draw an award like this one page, or make up your own style, which is what I did. I made up my style, and write a thank you note inside the award. Decorate it and give it to the person and watch them smile. So that's another way. So I'm going to show this to this camera, and then we'll go to this one. That was her idea of the award. And you can make anything that you want. So I'm going to show you how I created mine. So I have cardstock, which is thicker paper, and I'm going to fold it in half like this. And also, while you're working on it, think of other people or other people that have given you, or maybe like the mailman. Stick it in the mailbox or the mailman. So I have a fold. I took an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, folded it in half, And then I'm going to take the letter G and I'm going to put it right next to the edge, or right on the edge, so that we have it like it opens up and you see the inside. So I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to trace around the letter. Sorry, I have to keep on looking at what I'm doing, or I might have something really weird straight come out of this tracing, and trace the letter. Now, like I said, you could do anything you'd like. You can use ribbon or lace and stuff like that if Mom has that and she doesn't mind you using it. Always be sure to ask first. And there's that. So there's the G, just like that. Now I'm going to take my scissors and cut it out. And I'm not going to cut on the fold. See the fold's right there? We're not going to cut on the fold. We're going to leave the fold in place. And we're going to cut around it like this. I think you've done stuff like this before, but it's always a nice reminder. And if you haven't had the chance to do it. But the fun part about this is that you're going to be able to give something to someone that does stuff, and they probably don't even consider that a good thing. You know, they just know that they do it, and it's probably their job. But it's still, when someone does their job, it's still a service that we receive that took their time, their energy, their love, and their passion for what they do. Okay, then I'm going to finish going all around like this. And go back this way because I have to make this little slot like that. Whoops, there, pop the paper. And like that. And makes, so there is the letter G. This is out of the cardstock. And it holds up a lot better and it's easier to write on too. So there's the G. So I'm going to clear my paper away. And then I don't need to fold this for the P. So but I like the color. It's a kind of a rosy, pinky color. So now I'm going to trace that. So you can watch me do that. But you know how to trace. And if you're not good at tracing and you like some help, be sure and ask Mom or Dad, maybe an older sister or brother that you happen to have, that wouldn't mind helping you with this project. But it's a really fun project. And it might too be something you could share with your teachers at school. And it's a good way to acknowledge the people in your neighborhood or in your community that do things for us. You know, we have a mayor, we have a city council, and we have all those people. Now I'm going to cut out the P. Goes around like this. He goes like this. And then we have to do the center. I don't have my little tiny sharp scissors, so I'll just poke a hole with this. If you do this, please be very careful or have Mom do it for you, because I don't want you to hurt yourself. There we are. And I go to the four corners because then it's easier to cut it out. Make like an X with your scissors. Then it's a little easier to cut it out. So we'll go across here, go around, and make it look like a P, the letter. All right, so go like that, and there we go. Now you can also, if you didn't want to cut out another letter, you can leave this out of the way. Okay, there we are. So now, like I said, if you didn't want to cut out a letter, you could just write the letter P down here across that if you wanted to. It's whatever ideas you happen to come up with that you think is fun. Now I'm going to take the P and I'm going to put it so that the P sits right there. Oh, I think I had a different idea this morning. Yeah, so we have different places. We could put it here like this. That represents the person. Or you could put it down here. That's kind of what I was just playing with last night when I was thinking about this. Like that. So I'm going to put it there. So I'm going to get my glue and my little brush. And you can use a glue stick. You can use double stick tape if you want to hold your letter down. Or like I said, you could just draw it on. You don't have to glue it at all if that's what you want to do. I just kind of wanted it to look three-dimensional, or two-dimensional, not three-dimensional. Two-dimensional. Okay, so I got some glue on there. Put that back. Oops. You know what? I put glue on the bottom and I shouldn't have done that. Oh well, we'll fix it. So, we'll put the P there. Just like that. And glue it down. So now, we have the P here. See, I shouldn't have put the glue here either. Let that dry. Don't we learn things all the time when we're not thinking ahead when we're doing things? So, just put the glue where you know it's going to have to stick to another piece of paper. You don't have to put it on the back of this or at the bottom of this. Anyway, okay, so there is the G for the good, and then this person. So now, she says in her little note that it's fun to decorate it. So now you have a choice. How do you want to do that? So this gets to be the fun time when you get to add your creativity and the things that you most like. It's like, do you like to work with colored pencils, or do you like to work with paint, or do you like to work with markers, or any of those things that you enjoy creating with? So what we'll do is we're going to take a few minutes and we're going to decorate this. I'm going to take my black Sharpie and I'm going to write up here, and I'm going to put good. I'm just going to write it in letters. And then on the P, I'm going to put person, P. Spell it out. Person, and over here, award. I'm going to, so you can see that. So that's just how I decided to do it. You get to do it any way you choose. So there's Good Person Award, like that. And now I like to use markers, I like to use colored pencils, I like to use all those different things. So I'm going to make mine a little snazzy, and I'm going to use a gold pen to go over the print that I did. It just highlights it, makes it stand out better, like that. And it doesn't show very good on this color, but it highlights it and makes it stand out. And then put a word over here. And if I just used the pen, I don't think it would have stood out as much as having the marker underneath it. So now that stands out. So now I can do, let's see, maybe I'll do several, and I'll use my pencil. And I think I'm going to put a flower here. So I'm going to decorate it with flowers. Okay. So I made flowers, and I'll color in the leaves. I'll just do a little bit of it, and then you can create that however you'd like. You can use sponge painting, any of those things. And it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more than a thank you card. It's you're honoring them for the things that they do. It's like, could you make a Good Person Award for your mom or your dad? Maybe for all the times that they cooked dinner and they were really tired, or they helped you with your homework. That takes a good person to do that, to do those kind of things. Okay, so there's my little flower. And I think I'll put a stem on it with some leaves. This kind of stuff I know you guys know how to do. I don't have to show you how to do that. But it's kind of fun to do anyway, so I'm going to just do a little bit. And then I'm going to color that in, just like that. And maybe a little bit of yellow for the center of the flower. Put that in there. Okay, so we have a little flower, and you guys can decorate it however else you'd like. And if you don't want to use the letter G for Good Person Award, which I just thought, not just thought of that, but I just thought of an idea. If you know the person that you're going to give it to, you could use letters for their name. Maybe you wanted to give it to somebody named Amanda, and you'd make a big A and put another small letter on here. You could put a P for person, or nice for the nice stuff that they do or anything like that. You could do all kinds of different ideas with it. Right now my glue has dried, so I know it's not going to stick on the paper. And then on the inside, you can use the person's name. Of course, if you don't know the person's name, like maybe your mailman or maybe the person that picks up your trash. Wouldn't that be interesting? I don't imagine a person that's picked up your trash has ever gotten a card from anybody. I don't think so. That would be a nice start, wouldn't it? I guess you would have to tape it to the trash can. And hopefully, I don't know whether they'd see it or not, though, because they don't get out of the trucks. So you'd have to figure that out. But anyway, so here, you can, if it's easier for you to draw lines to write, you can do that. You just put your ruler down and make lines with your pencil. And then you could write your words this way and come across like that. And it just might be a little easier for you to follow some lines. And you could even draw pictures on the inside too. You don't have to just have pictures on the outside of your award. It could be on the inside, like that. So then you have some lines here to offer the person to offer how you're going to say thank you. And sometimes it's not even a thank you, it's an appreciation. You appreciate what they do for you, like pick up trash, or maybe the guys that do your mom's and dad's lawn saves them from having to do it. And it's a pretty lawn and a nice place for you to play. So you could put whoever does your landscaping, or if they mow your yard, pick up the leaves and things like that. And you could make them a good person award. But whoever you can have that does things like that, I know we have a place here in Simi Valley called the Samaritan Center. And there's volunteers that come in and hand out meals, and they get a place that people that don't have their own homes can go and take showers and clean their clothes and stuff like that they didn't have that ability wherever they're living. And there's people there doing all that for them, which is a great place to put a good person award. We have some people in our center that go over and help do meals, and that would be a perfect thing for them to be able to make something like this and give that to them because of the effort and the energy that they put into it. And the other thing they put in that's most important and makes the biggest difference is they add love to it. And adding love to whatever it is that you do and the things that you give adds so much more to it. So you might want to think about that and do a good person award. Appreciate those people all around the world that happen to do good things for everybody. And most everybody just does about it. Or you know about it and you see it, but you're just not aware of it. You don't think about it. But take time to think about that. Think about different people that make your life a great place to be, and help them too by giving something which is part of who you are through creating something like this, and add awareness that other people do recognize the good that they do. And it's a good way to tell them. And as the author said, and watch them smile when you give them something like this. So it's really easy to do, and this is just my idea of how I thought of doing it. And then we saw the idea that the author has. I'd love to see some of the ideas that maybe you have or you've created. And that would be kind of fun too, to be able to do that. So take a little time today or in the next couple of days and think about doing a good person award. And who would you award it to? And what have they done to achieve that? And they do it all the time and just don't get acknowledged for it. So it would be really nice to be able to acknowledge them for what they do. So think about that and enjoy your week, and acknowledge yourself too when you do something that's extra special for not only yourself, but for other people. Because it's always nice to recognize what you have to give. And when you give it, it makes you feel good too. And that's the other part of the other side, let's say, of the card, of the award, is the people giving the award also get to recognize how they make a difference for people and the good that they do. So, as the author said, what will you do? So have a great week. Think about what you will do and just do it. Thanks very much. Look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.